These are solutions to exam 5 of Math 120 online. Okay, so number 1, the square root of 81 is 9. The square root of x to the 8th is x to the 4th. Square root of y to the 12th is y to the 6th. So 9x to the 4th, y to the 6th. Number 2, square root of 12. 12 can be written as 4 times 3. Square root of 27 can be written as 9 times 3. 4 comes outside, changes to a 2. 9 comes outside, changes to a 3. So I have 6 times 2 radical 3 minus 4 times 3 radical 3. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 radical 3 minus another 12 radical 3 is just plain 0. Number 3, multiply by the conjugate of the denominator. The conjugate of radical 3 minus 1 is radical 3 plus 1. So do that top and bottom. So leave the top alone. The bottom becomes a squared minus b squared. Square root of 3 squared is 3, minus 1 squared is 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. Cancel the 4 with a 2. So 2 times radical 3 plus 1. Number 4, square both sides. The square root of a square is just 3x plus 1. X minus 3 squared, use the formula for a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. That gives me x squared minus 6x plus 9. This is a quadratic equation, so put 0 on one side and everything else goes on the other side. So I subtract the 3x and subtract 1 on both sides. 0 equals x squared minus 9x plus 8. This factors in x minus 1, x minus 8. So by the 0 factor property, either this is 0 or this is 0. That gives me x is 1 or x is 8. However, x equals 1 does not check against the original. If I plug in 1 here and here, the square root of 3 times 1 plus 1 is not 1 minus 3. That gives me the square root of 4 is equal to negative 2, which is not a true statement. Okay, so throw out 1. 8, however, does work. Plug in 3 times 8 plus 1. Does that equal 8 minus 3? Square root, that is. And this gives me the square root of 25. That is equal to 5. So the only real solution is 8. 5, I will square the binomial. Again, that's a minus b quantity squared. A squared minus 2ab plus b squared. 4 squared is 16 minus 2ab. 2 times 4 times 3 is a negative 24i plus b squared 9i squared. Anytime you see I squared, you can change it to a negative 1. So this is 9 times negative 1. So I have 16 minus 9 or 7 minus 24i. Number 6, y equals 4 to the x. I just made a simple table that goes from negative 3 to 3. If I plug in 0, anything to the 0 is 1. Plug in 1, I get 4. Plug in 2, I get 16. Plug in 3, I get 64. 4 to the negative 1 is 1 over 4. 4 to the negative 2 is 1 over 4 squared, 1 over 16. 4 to the negative 3 is 1 over 4 cubed, 1 over 64. Okay, so I've got 0, 1. I changed the scale here. These are by 10s, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. These are by 1s. 0, 1, 1, 4, 2, 16, and 3, 64 is way up here. And these are so small, they're practically on the x-axis. So they're practically hugging the x-axis. So the graph looks something like that. Number 7, y equals log base 2 of x. Unscramble it as 2 to the y equals x. So it's more convenient to plug in numbers for y. So I plug in y goes from negative 2 to 2, and then I figure out the x. So if I plug in 0 for y, 2 to the 0 is 1. Plug in 1, I get 2. Plug in 2, remember I'm plugging in for y, 2 squared is 4. Plug in negative 1, 2 to the negative 1 is 1 over 2. And plug in negative 2, 2 to the negative 2 is 1 over 2 squared, 1 over 4. All right, so here's 1, 0, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1 half comma negative 1. 1/4 negative 2, so the log function looks something like that. Number 8, write as a single logarithm. So bring the 7 up, bring the half up. So log of x to the 7th minus log of y to the half. The minus sign here means I write the log of a quotient. So log of x to the 7th over y to the 1/2, and y to the half means square root of y. So you should change it to square root of y. Okay, number 9, 3 to the x equals 16. Take the natural log of both sides. You could also take common log. log, but ln works, and bring the x down. X ln 3 equals ln 16. Okay, I prefer to use ln because in your higher up math classes, you're more likely to do natural logs than common logs base 10. So x ln 3 equals ln 16. Divide both sides by ln 3. Punch it in your machine. It's at 2.5231. Finally, number 10, log base 8 of x plus log base 8 of 3 equals 1. There's a plus sign here. That means I'll take the log of the product. Log base 8 of x times 3 or 3x equals 1. Unscramble it. 8 raised to the 1 is 3x, and then just divide by 3, x is equal to 8/3. All right, so this is exam 5 of Melham's Math 120 online course.